Hey everyone, so today we're going to be looking at different types of glassware and how we can take appropriate measurements. I want to remind everyone that there is a graphic organizer that follows along with this. So let's go ahead and get started. So as far as appropriate measurements go, we must consider that we have to read the glassware in the right way. And when we write down our measurements, we're basically telling other scientists and other chemists how we took that measurement and how good of a device we actually used to measure that. When reading glassware, always measure all certain digits and one uncertain or estimated digit. The way that this is going to look is when we look at this glassware that's over on the left-hand side. This looks like a graduated cylinder, in my opinion. Um, we know that it's going to be at least, let's see, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it's in between 23 and 24 milliliters, maybe just a little bit below the 24 mark. So we know it's at least 23 milliliters. And because it's just below the 24 mark, we'll go ahead and say that it's 23.9. Once again, the 0.9 is the first uncertain or estimated digit. Some other appropriate and allowed measurements would be 23.8 milliliters. That zero point 0.8 is estimated. And it could be almost 24, so you could say 24, but you still need that extra decimal, so it would be 24.0 milliliters. The 0.0, the tenths place, is the estimated digit, and it's required for this measurement. Now, notice that the water attracts to the side of the glass here, and it kind of causes for this U formation. This is called the meniscus, and when we take measurements, you always measure at the bottom of the meniscus. So you measure at the bottom of the little bump or bubble. And that, once again, kind of allows for us to have more standardization across how we do things around the world. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is look at a bunch of different types of glassware and see why they're actually useful in the classroom. So the first one is a graduated cylinder. Graduated cylinders are essentially used to measure the volumes of liquids. They do so fairly precisely, and they are good laboratory tools for measuring volume. The Erlenmeyer Flask, while it does have volume marks on it, is not necessarily used to measure volume. We generally will have Erlenmeyer flasks or flasks in general to stir reaction mixtures or have reactions occur in them. The conical shape allows for bubbles and other kind of reaction craziness to happen without the chemicals spilling outward. You can also grasp these flasks by the neck and stir them quite vigorously. Beakers are glorified cups. They do have graduations on the side which tell us about how much volume is in there, but they're not often accurate or precise. Notice that the beaker on the left, the 800 milliliter beaker, marks every 100 milliliters, and it doesn't do so with good certainty. So honestly, at the end of the day, beakers are really just used for transferring chemicals around. And if you just need like 50 milliliters of water or 100 milliliters of water, they serve their purpose for that. Burettes are really excellent pieces of glassware. When we're looking at burettes measure very specific amounts of liquid volumes to a container. Now, the reason that they are odd is because you actually read them upside down. Down at the bottom here, we have the nozzle which delivers the liquid usually into a flask. And you can spin the knob on the side to either allow liquid to flow through or not. Now, once again, you can see that it starts at 0 at the top, and as liquid dispenses, it goes down, seemingly increasing in number. But really, at the end of the day, it's just telling us how much liquid we added to a reaction mixture or flask. Last but not least, we have volumetric flasks and pipettes. Volumetric flasks are used to measure one value or one volume very precisely. Usually we can get these values to either the hundreds or sometimes even thousandths of a degree of accuracy. They only ever have one mark or deviation, as you can see on this volumetric flask here. And they're kind of a little bit of a rounded bottom, but they do stand on their own. Oftentimes we use volumetric flasks for when we're doing dilutions, and we need to know very accurately and precisely how much solution we have. While this is not an exclusive or extensive list of glassware, this is the common glassware that we're going to be seeing in our class. And once again, hopefully you learned how to take appropriate measurements. Thank you very much.